Tonight, several developing headlines as we come on the air. The extreme heat, severe storms, and the major dam here in the U.S. at imminent risk for failure. Also, the deadly shark attack. The victim acted in Pirates of the Caribbean. And in New York's Central Park, the NYPD tonight on the attempted sexual assault in broad daylight. First tonight, the states of emergency, catastrophic flooding in the Midwest, a major dam at risk of failing. Residents warned to be ready to evacuate. Deadly rip currents up and down the East Coast. In New York City tonight, 2 teenage boys swept out by a large wave. 80 million Americans under heat alerts from California all the way east. Ginger Z is here. The deadly shark attack off Hawaii. A well-known surfer killed, suffering multiple shark bites. The victim, also an actor who appeared in several TV shows and in Pirates of the Caribbean. Here in New York City tonight, the urgent search for a suspect wanted for attempted sex assault in broad daylight in Central Park. A 21-year-old woman attacked while sunbathing. The victim fighting him off. Tonight, the chilling new video showing the moment 3 hostages were taken by Hamas, including American-Israeli Hirsch Goldberg Poland, still being held. In the video, one of the terrorists saying he wanted a selfie with their hostage. His arm had been blown off. Tonight, the interview here, his parents on why they want the world to see the images and what Benjamin Netanyahu signaled about the war in Gaza right now. The race for the White House tonight, just 3 days now until the earliest ever presidential debate. Tonight, what we now know about the preparations, how President Biden is getting ready, and what Donald Trump is now saying about the president's ability to debate. The remarkable kidney transplant here in the U.S.
Are you awake, John?
The patient in Chicago awake during the kidney procedure. The missing hiker who went for a 3-hour hike now rescued after 10 days alone. The emotional reunion. Also tonight here, the American woman, a tourist missing in the Bahamas for several days now. And 4 small earthquakes reported in California, all within just 2 hours. One in Los Angeles.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to start another week with all of you at home. We begin tonight with the extreme heat, severe storms, dangerous flooding, a dam here in the U.S. at imminent risk of failure. Tonight, more than 80 million Americans from California to the Midwest to the East still sweltering in dangerous heat. There are states of emergency with rivers still rising, and in the East, dangerous rip currents. In New York City, authorities believe 2 teenage boys were swept out to sea. Tonight, those heat alerts from California to Minnesota to Florida, triple-digit temperatures, and the heat index, when you factor in humidity, well above 100 for millions. A disaster emergency in western Iowa. Look at this. Hundreds of homes underwater tonight. Up to 18 inches of rain in recent storms. In North Sioux City, South Dakota, a railway bridge ripped in 2 by record-high waters there. And near Mankato, Minnesota tonight, a dam over the Blue Earth River breached. At imminent risk of failing, families nearby have been urged to evacuate. Ginger Z has the forecast, and ABC's Erielle Reshef leading us off with the images tonight.
Tonight, record-breaking floods threatening to burst a dam. Days of rain crippling communities in the upper Midwest. The Rapidan Dam near Mankato, Minnesota, in the southern part of the state, at risk of imminent failure. Authorities warning residents along the Blue Earth River to be ready to evacuate. The danger coming after days of storms dumped up to 18 inches of rain in some spots, sending rivers over their banks, engulfing whole neighborhoods and destroying crucial infrastructure. Our Melissa Adan outside Sioux City, Iowa.
This railway bridge ripped apart by that raging river. You see the gushing water. Officials say it crested at 45 feet. That's historic levels, forcing many that live nearby to evacuate.
Iowa's governor says nearly 2,000 homes and businesses sustained damage, hundreds destroyed. South Dakota's governor telling reporters today that floodwaters killed at least 1 person in the state.
In case we needed any reminder of the destructive nature of water, we are seeing it in real time today.
The extreme heat fueling extreme storms in the east. In the last 24 hours, multiple tornado warnings in New England. Meanwhile, families seeking relief from the heat at our nation's beaches are getting caught in dangerous rip currents. Dozens of people rescued from North Carolina beaches in recent days. And in New York City, authorities suspended the search for 2 teenage boys swept out by a large wave at Jacob Riis Park. Witnesses say they went under around 6 p.m. Friday, just moments after lifeguards had left the beach for the day.
David, you can see it's extremely windy here. I can barely face the camera. You can also see there's red flag warnings behind me. Lifeguards at a nearby beach say they rescued 12 swimmers from rip currents just on Sunday alone, and they say they're bracing for more in the coming days. David?
Erielle Reshef reporting in from Brighton Beach. Erielle, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z back with us tonight with the forecast. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. It was the first 100-plus degree temperature in June in 12 years for Washington, D.C. and Baltimore over the weekend. And now that heat is focused tomorrow, mostly in the middle of the country, from Omaha and the excessive heat warnings to Greenville, Mississippi, that could see feels like upwards of 116, a couple pockets of excessive heat for Salt Lake and Palm Springs. But the risk area is really focused again along that Florida panhandle back to Little Rock. And a big part of that's not just the afternoon highs or the feels likes when the sun is out, but when you are asleep and how warm it stays. We could see some record overnight low highs, if that makes any sense to you. Also, yes, riding along that ridge and with some frontal action, a low pressure system tonight, you could see a derecho or at least a long line of storms with embedded or isolated tornadoes, mostly a 70-plus mile-per-hour wind possible. Southeastern Minnesota, much of southwestern Wisconsin, all the way down to Milwaukee and Chicago by early morning. And finally, these are the next 2 days for severe weather. David?
Ginger Z with us again tonight. Ginger, thank you. We turn now to the deadly shark attack off Hawaii. A well-known surfer who acted in TV shows and the Pirates of the Caribbean attacked and killed off Oahu. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
Tonight, in a rare fatal shark attack, world-renowned surfer Tamayo Perry killed off the island of Oahu Sunday afternoon.
It is just a tragic loss. And Tamayo is a legendary waterman and highly respected, grew up right over here.
The 49-year-old was out surfing in the waters off Molaikahana State Park when he was attacked. Lifeguards recovering Perry's body by jet ski, authorities saying he appeared to have suffered from multiple shark bites. Perry, a decades-long surfer and a veteran of the area ocean safety and lifeguard services. He also acted, making appearances in Hawaii Five-0,
Get to work,
Pirates of the Caribbean, and Blue Crush.
What's up, Tamayo?
Hey, how's it, girls?
How is it out there?
Oh, it's pretty nuts.
His friend Brian Beelman saying he ran into the surfer just the night before his death.
All I can say is he was a great Christian man. He's with his mom in heaven right now. There's no doubt about that. He was an incredible surfer. Everybody loved Tamayo.
Also on Sunday in North Carolina, police say a 14-year-old was bitten on the leg by a shark at North Topsail Beach.
14-year-old male that was bit by a shark.
Bystanders pulling the teen from the water. He was later transported to the hospital and is expected to recover. Despite natural fears, though, experts still say the chance of getting bitten extremely low.
What's your message to people who are going to the beach this summer?
So based on what we're learning, not just in California or Hawaii or Massachusetts or Florida, is that your probability of being bitten is so low, it really isn't something to worry about.
David, that expert reiterating that fatal shark attacks are extremely rare. Tamayo Perry's death in Hawaii, just the 9th fatal incident recorded in that state since it began keeping records nearly 30 years ago. David?
Matt Rivers with us tonight. Thank you, Matt. Here in New York City this evening, the NYPD late today on the urgent search right now for a suspect wanted for attempted sex assault in broad daylight in Central Park. Police say a 21-year-old woman was attacked while sunbathing, the victim fighting him off. ABC's Diane Macedo from Central Park tonight.
An urgent search is underway in New York Central Park after police say a man tried to sexually assault a woman sunbathing in the middle of the day. The second brazen attack in a city park in 2 weeks.
We have a female white 21 who is sunbathing. She sees a male black coming towards her, exposing himself. She screams and gets up to run. He tackles her from behind.
Police say the victim was able to fight the man off, who then ran away. Now NYPD officers are scouring the park on foot, by bike, and by drone, with the victim riding in a patrol car to help the search.
I can assure you, you see the massive response. We're going to keep Central Park safe, and we're going to continue to be out here until we feel that this perpetrator is off the streets.
The attack comes just days after a suspect was arrested for allegedly sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl in a Queens Park after school, holding her and a friend at knife point.
And David, now the focus is on finding the suspect in this Central Park attack. Police describe him as being in his 30s, about 6 feet tall, medium build with curly hair. And they say he was wearing a light shirt and shorts. David?
Diane Macedo tonight. Thank you, Diane. Tonight from Israel, the chilling video now showing the moment 3 hostages were taken by Hamas, including American-Israeli Hersh Goldberg Poland, who is still being held. In the video, one of the terrorists saying he wants a selfie with that hostage. Hersh's arm had been blown off. Tonight, Matt Gutman with the interview, his parents on why they want the world to see this, and a warning. It is difficult.
Just released video tonight showing Hamas terrorists racing into Gaza on October 7th. 3 hostages, including American Hersh Goldberg Poland, bleeding in the flatbed. In the video released by the families of the hostages, Hersh's head pulled back, with one of the gunmen saying, "I want to take a selfie with him." Hersh cradling his severed arm, all 3 hostages seriously wounded when militants tossed grenades into the shelter where Hersh and more than a dozen others had taken refuge from Hamas's attack on the Nova Music Festival.
How does a mother watch her son go through that?
I mean, I literally watched it a few minutes ago, so I think I'm still in shock, and I think that I will be figuring out how I feel.
And we spoke to Hersh's parents tonight.
It's horrendous, this video. We agreed to release it because horrendous things happened and might still be happening, and the world needs to know that.
And tonight, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu signaling a shift in the war in Gaza, saying the intense phase of fighting is about to end. Military sources telling ABC News the phase down is just weeks away, but Netanyahu stressing that does not mean the war is about to end. And Israel also facing mounting questions in the West Bank after this disturbing video. Soldiers seen strapping a Palestinian man, 23-year-old Mujahid Abadi, to the hood of their armored vehicle. He was shot in the leg and shoulder, but the Palestinian Red Crescent said they were initially prevented from treating Abadi. The IDF calling it a violation of orders and standard operating procedures and says it's investigating.
And David, back to Netanyahu's comments about the shift in the war. Israeli sources telling me it would mean fewer Israeli troops inside Gaza, but that Israel would still maintain buffer zones in the Gaza Strip and launch targeted raids. And amidst all of that suffering in Gaza, the Goldberg Polans telling me they are desperate for the world not to forget their son and the other hostages. David.
Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv. Thank you, Matt. Meantime, back here in the U.S. into the race for the White House, 3 days now until the earliest ever presidential debate. We will be showing the CNN debate right here on ABC Thursday night for you. Tonight here, how President Biden and former President Donald Trump are preparing for this return to the stage to face off again. Here's Mary Bruce.
Tonight, President Biden is hunkering down at Camp David with over a dozen aides intensely preparing for the most consequential moment yet of this campaign. Sources say one of Biden's top goals on that debate stage to hold Donald Trump accountable for his actions as president. And today, a preview. On the 2-year anniversary of the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, the Biden campaign releasing this ad, the president speaking directly to camera.
Here's what Donald Trump says about your freedom. After 50 years of failure, with nobody coming even close, I was able to kill Roe v. Wade. Decades of progress shattered just because the last guy got 4 years in the White House.
The First Lady hitting that message, too.
Because Donald Trump is dangerous to our families and to our country. We cannot let him win. We cannot sit by while our freedoms slip away.
Trump has boasted about appointing the justices who overturned Roe, saying abortion laws should be left up to the states, doubling down in Washington, D.C. over the weekend.
Thanks to these justices, we have also achieved what the pro-life movement fought to get for 49 years, and we've gotten abortion out of the federal government and back to the states.
Unlike Biden, Trump is not formally preparing for Thursday's debate, but he has held more than a dozen policy discussions with current and former advisors. And though he has attacked Biden's stamina and mental fitness for months, with the debate approaching, Trump is now calling the president a worthy debater, saying he's not underestimating him. Still, Trump insists he has no debate strategy. In Philadelphia, he polled the crowd.
How should I handle him? Should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history? Or should I be nice and calm and let him speak.
Donald Trump is now clearly trying to set expectations, describing the president as a worthy debater and insisting he's not underestimating him. And of course, 4 years ago, when they faced off the last time, we saw how contentious and chaotic those debates were. This time around, the candidate's microphone will only be turned on when it is their turn to speak. David, it remains to be seen if that will turn down the temperature.
We will see. Mary Bruce, you'll be right here with me and the Powerhouse political team. Thank you, Mary. This is Thursday night again. You can watch the CNN presidential debate right here on ABC. We will be simulcasting it. Our team will be here starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, then the debate right here at 9 p.m. Again, that's Thursday night. Mary, we'll see you then. When we come back here tonight, the search for an American woman missing in the Bahamas for days now. Also, 4 earthquakes reported in California, all within about 2 hours or so, including one in Los Angeles. And the kidney transplant in Chicago, the patient awake the entire time. Tonight, authorities are searching for an American tourist reported missing in the Bahamas. Taylor Casey of Chicago was last seen in the Paradise Island area last Wednesday. She was reportedly on vacation for a yoga retreat. Family members are expected to arrive tomorrow to help with the search. The U.S. State Department had issued a travel advisory for the Bahamas in January, citing violent crime in the area. From Baltimore tonight, the cargo ship that destroyed the Francis Scott Key Bridge has now left the port of Baltimore. It crashed, as you remember, into the bridge. That was 3 months ago, causing it to collapse in just a matter of seconds. Tugboats escorting the ship past the remains of the bridge as it sailed on to Norfolk, Virginia. The ship passing under the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. Traffic was held for 30 minutes or so out of an abundance of caution there. When we come back here tonight, 4 earthquakes within 2 hours in California, including one in Los Angeles. We'll have more. And the kidney transplant performed right here in the U.S. while the patient was awake the whole time. What the patient said afterward. To the index of other news tonight, and 4 small earthquakes rattling parts of California. The quakes hitting within a 2-hour window early this morning. The quakes rumbling near Idlewild outside Palm Springs, Walker near the Nevada state line, Cobb north of Napa Valley, and Highland Park, a neighborhood right in Los Angeles. The range is magnitudes 2.6 to 3.3, relatively small, but still several within a 2-hour period. No damages or injuries reported. Tonight, a remarkable rare kidney transplant performed at Northwestern Medicine in Chicago. The patient awake for the entire procedure. John Nicholas received a kidney from a childhood friend. Doctors say the patient was young and healthy enough to only use spinal anesthesia. He was discharged and back home less than 24 hours after receiving his new kidney. He called it a pretty cool experience to know what was happening in real time. It's quite something. When we come back here tonight, the son who went for a 3-hour hike and didn't show up for his Father's Day dinner. The remarkable discovery and reunion 10 days later, and you'll see it here.
ABC World News Tonight with David Muir, sponsored by Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Finally tonight here, it was supposed to be a 3-hour hike. 10 days later, the emotional reunion. Tonight in the Santa Cruz Mountains, Santa Cruz County, California, one incredible rescue. More than 300 people, emergency personnel and volunteers scouring the mountains in search of a man who had been missing for more than a week. 34-year-old Luke McClish. Luke told family and friends he was going for a short hike, but he never showed up for his dad's Father's Day dinner. The Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office using drones, the CAL FIRE San Mateo Santa Cruz unit joining in, as well as the Boulder Creek Fire Department, California State Parks, search dogs too. 10 days later, Luke was found. The moment he reunites with his family, his face covered in dirt, his family hugging him. Rushed to the hospital, no major injuries. Tonight he's home recovering, telling our station in San Francisco, KGO, he's doing okay.
I'm sore and a little tired. I lost my voice.
Luke says he knows the trails but got disoriented after fires scorched the landscape. This is all he had with him.
I left with a pair of my pants and my pair of hiking shoes and the hat. I had a flashlight and a pair of folding scissors, and that was about it.
Drinking water from his boot.
I would just make sure that I drank at least a gallon of water every day. But then after, getting close to the end of it, my body needed food and some type of sustenance.
Luke so moved by how many people were out looking for him.
It was just really humbling and I don't know.
His family grateful.
Relieved.
So thankful and blessed.
Tonight, Luke joking he might take a break from hiking, at least for a while.
I did enough hiking for probably the whole rest of the year. Me too.
We've all hiked a lot.
Well, Luke, we're just glad you're alive and well, and we certainly understand the break from hiking. I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.